Hello and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Leo in September 2020. What's going on, Leo? How are you guys doing? I hope you are doing well. All right, Leo, wherever you are in the world, I hope you are safe, happy, healthy, and secure at this time. Please continue to take very good care of yourselves and those that you know and love. And let's ride 2020 out. This crazy year that it's been. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Leo, anything you want from me is already in the description box. The timestamp is down there if you need it. The information you need if you want to purchase a personal reading with me is also down there. Feel free to email me at the same address if you have a question before you place an order for a reading. Also down there is the link to my Instagram, EmpathicFire Tarot, if you want to see me do work with oracle cards and do intuitive interpretations of that. Feel free to drop me a follow over there. And please remember, guys, to like, share, subscribe, and comment if you want to show some type of support to the channel. If you like what's going on here, feel free to engage in any type of way with what's going on here. I had someone reach out to me and ask me about donations. So if you are looking to do a donation, feel free to use the PayPal link or the Cash App down below. Just go ahead and, say that it's a donation. Otherwise, I'll be thinking it might be like, I don't know. It's still kind of strange that people want to do that. But, I'm not going to deny anybody because, exchanges, right? Anyway, so if you want to do a donation, you can't do it through YouTube. I mean, you can, I just don't go live often enough for the super chat. But if you want to do it, I would suggest using the PayPal or the Cash App, okay? All right, Leo, let's get into it. Outcome for Leo in September 2020. Let's see the outcome for Leo in September 2020. Please show me. Outcome for Leo in September 2020. Please show me. No. Okay, bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Oh boy. What's that about? Oh, there's two. Great. We always love that. I'm being slightly facetious. So let's move these things over a little bit so we have a little bit more room. So you're the first one to get a double. I don't know if anybody else will. We'll see. And how's that look? Looks okay. We'll take it. All right, Leo, let's get into it. Please show me where Leo is in September 2020. Leo in September 2020, please show me. Excuse me. Okay, it's like between two places. Clean that up a little bit, please. Which card for Leo? All right, we got it. You were in two places, but we're finally going to settle on this one. So, Leo, coming into September, you come in with the energy of the Three of Wands. All right, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you headed? Some of you might literally be traveling wherever you are in the world. Things might be opening up a little bit more. You might be getting back into sort of a normal routine, and that's great. We all need that in life. God knows I would like a little return to normalcy in my life, a little bit more routine than what I'm doing now. But anyway, for you, Leo, this feels expectant, and this feels sort of, I don't want to say, I don't sense like enthusiasm or excitement, just more of like a, I wonder what's out there for me. Or, yeah. I wonder what's out there for me, right? Because you see this person, this woman, she's overlooking the water, and down there on the water is a boat. And that boat could be coming, it could be going, we're not really sure, or, you can read it both ways. And so it's just this potentiality of what's next, what's new, but it's not, even though this is Wands, it's not as fiery as I would expect, or as I think others might expect of you, Leo, right? It feels like pretty quiet, pretty contained, like expecting, wondering, dreaming, seeing, or looking for the potentials, looking for opportunities, but not actually, maybe you're not announcing it. Is that what this is? You're not communicating that. Ah, okay. Yes. They're like, yep, 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 yep. Okay, Leo. So whatever moves you're making them in secret. Good job. Because I do get the sense like before now, and is typical of Leo's general energy, you've been one to pronounce your moves. Hey, I'm planning to do XYZ in my life, or I think I'm going to head over here instead of going over there. Instead of doing any of that stuff with your friends, with your family, maybe even the only person you tell is yourself or your guides, or maybe you just journal about it. Maybe you don't even vocalize it. I don't know. But there is, I don't want to say it's secrecy. It's more of like maybe it's a manifestation practice for some of you where maybe okay, so it could be that. It could be some of you are like, the more I share with a particular person, the more things don't go my way. So let me not tell that person, or let me not tell anybody, and see how things go. Something like that. I don't think you're playing a game. I think this is more of like an experiment or something like that, or you're trying to suss out how to more likely get the things that you want, get the results that you want, find yourself in the situations and opportunities and relationships and connections that you want. You don't want the same thing that you've had before, which has been either successful to a point and never breaking through, or it's gone the complete opposite way and it's been a total failure. This is like, after everything I've learned, right? Now I know I have to cut this out of my behavior, or I need to, stop telling everybody my business, something like that. And I think that's a smart move. They're like, yes. This is a smart move for you. You're being much more calculated in what you're doing, and you're being a lot more quiet about it, which is good. Interesting. So what else happens for Leo? Okay. Yeah, so you're surrounded. Yes. Okay. So what I see is you're like putting up. Some of you are like really exploring, because that's the other thing about the Three of Wands. It can be about exploration, going out and seeing the world, or again, like looking for opportunities, looking for chances to experience something new, or get involved in a new endeavor, right? So some of you, this is very calculated and future oriented, yeah? And because you have these possibly lofty goals, or at least just let's say a wider, is that correct? Let me see. How's this coming across? Okay. You're not interested in limiting yourself anymore, right? Wherever you were before, you felt limited, or you felt withheld, or you felt other people or situations you were involved in, environments in which you were, inhabiting or hanging around with people. It just was like putting a cap on you, putting a collar on you, like a chain on you. And you don't want that. So you want this openness, you want this expansiveness, you want this more choices, more avenues from which to choose, right? This is interesting. God, I forget where I was going before that, but like that kind of just like came in and took over the message really quickly. So where before you may have been limited to a certain set of choices, now you're like, give me more choices, or I want to see different, maybe even not different choices, maybe you want to see specifics. This is very interesting. Okay, that's another way we could think about it. Because this person is standing up on a balcony, this person's eye line is so much bigger or wider than if they were down on the ground floor, or down on the beach, or down on the dock where that boat might be beginning to dock. You know what I mean? Where the boat is headed. The further up you are, the higher up you are, the more you can see of any landscape. In most cases, right? So you're wanting to put yourself in a position to see more so that you can make a more informed decision. Something like that. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to you guys. And I feel like there was something I was going to go down or some road I was going to go down, but I can't remember what it was. So anyway, let's move on. Oh, right. What I'm seeing, ha ha ha, is you are putting out, not putting out, how can I say this? You're structuring things in such a way that, okay, you're like, I feel like you're putting yourself in a position of power and people don't know that you are doing that. Or you're putting yourself in a position of power and people are going to be like, oh, you changed it up on me. And you're going to be like, yeah, I did. I did. That's interesting. Why am I saying that? Because I feel that you're putting yourself in a position of power based on the Empress and all of these three that are sort of insulating this Three of Wands is a power play. Empress. So you're taking care of yourself. You're thinking about your finances. You're thinking about your security. You're thinking about your body, your health. You're thinking about, in some of your cases, your beauty, and how you physically show up in the world, and how much effort you put into putting yourselves together. You know, male or female, it doesn't, just because this is the Empress and because this whole deck features females, it doesn't mean this is only for females. So if you're a guy, take this to the bank as well. The Empress is secondary major arcana for Taurus and Libra. You could be dealing with either of those signs or not at all. But this is loving thyself. Ooh, look at me with the biblical talk. Or love thyself. And that's great. We all need to love ourselves, right? And that's what this Empress does. Or when she's in her high vibe, when she is exactly where she needs to be in her journey, in her power, that is what she does. She loves herself beyond anything else. Or, I shouldn't say that. Not beyond anything else. The Empress will love herself primarily. And by loving yourself, taking care of yourself, it allows you to love and care for others, right? So, okay. Mother energy is here as well. Motherly energy, or the energy of female nurturing, right, is here. So whether you're a mother or not, again, you could be a male. And you could be, a male with no children. It really doesn't matter. But there is this caretaking thing, but I feel that's primarily focused on the self. And again, if you are well taken care of, if you take care of yourself, that puts you in a better position to take care of others, does it not? You could think of it like a firefighter. And I mean, it's not the best analogy, but I'm gonna go with it. It's like a firefighter. They get a call. There's a fire on. There's a building on fire. Please come over. It doesn't make any sense that a firefighter were to show up in their street clothes trying to run into a burning building to save people. They have to take care of themselves first, so they have to put on their gear, right? They got to put on the gloves and the boots and the oxygen masks and the helmets and all that kind of stuff. They got to, handle their axes and their water hoses and all that kind of stuff. They take care of themselves, protect themselves, make sure that they are safe so that they can go inside this treacherous place, this burning building, and try to rescue someone else, right? So what sense would it make if you're trying to help another person? This is for like those where there's a nurturing component here. Again, like this motherly energy. Some of you could be mothers, right? You could be, I don't know yet. But they're like yes for mothers. They're like underlining yes for mothers. So for those where you are mothers, there could be a real need to kick it up a notch, or to have that be the central focus. But okay, there it is. Remember what I just said. The Empress loves others by loving herself first. Some of you have twisted that around, which makes sense. I think a lot of people. I'm not a mom, by the way. I'm not a parent, so please don't take parental advice from me. But I think as an observer of parents and being brought up by a mother, I think that there's this concept that you must put your children before you at all times in order to be a successful parent. That might be true sometimes. But what did I just say? If your children or anybody needs rescuing and you're a firefighter, it doesn't make much sense for you to go inside and rush into that building without the gear, without proper precaution or without, again, trying to ensure your own safety. It might sound selfish. Maybe that's not the best analogy, especially when we talk about kids. But it's sort of, if you think about it, because you run the risk. Oh, Lord, what am I saying? There's somebody here here it is. Someone here is sacrificing too much, and this is going to sound messed up, but hear me out. Someone here is sacrificing too much for their kids or other people, period. Whether it's children or not, you're sacrificing too much for other people. I keep telling you, Leo, this Empress energy, they have to take care of themselves first. If you don't take care of yourself first, you're not going to do right by your kids or anybody else. Again. So there's something here. If you have interest in taking great care of your neighbors, it doesn't have to be children. But because the Empress is, the mother of all mothers, right? She is often akin to Mother Nature herself, or the feminine dynamic, or the mother dynamic of the universe, right? The creation side of the universe, right? Again, it doesn't have to be about kids, but like for someone out there, there's this message of too much sacrifice for the kids, and that ends up hurting you and them. Okay? And I don't know specifically what you're doing, but they're letting me know, like, the way in which someone has been putting emphasis on the children is not actually balanced. It's not actually forward thinking. You can't, okay, there it is. You can't sustain that. That's it. You can't sustain that energy, that effort. The Empress, when in high vibe, when doing what, I'm quoting she because it could be a male, what that person is meant to do when you're in the Empress energy is to have balance in all ways, right? To be aware of when you need a break, to be aware of when you need to step up and, do, sacrifice yourself. It can't always be I sacrifice, I sacrifice, I sacrifice, I sacrifice. That's not going to serve you. You're going to burn yourself out. So Leo, and I'm addressing this as Leo, by the way. It can go the other way. You might be involved with someone, or someone is in your energy who's dealing with this. Some of you could be watching your own mother struggle this way, or a friend of yours struggle in that way, and you're just kind of, I don't know. But I want to move off from this because that's not for everybody. There's tons of people out here who don't have any kids in the picture. But for those where there are children involved, or if not children, someone that you're responsible for, could be a sibling, could be a cousin or a nephew or something like that, or a niece, okay? There's too much sacrifice for that. And I know that sounds weird. I know it does. But, I have a weird way of seeing the world, I feel. So many people, oh my God, I never thought of it that way until you said that. How? I guess I've got a weird brain. Anyway, so Leo, your perspective is future oriented, and I think you're best served when you put yourself at the center of the priority list, when you put yourself at the top of the priority list, okay? When you love yourself, you're able to expand on or express that love and give it out to other people. Another way you could think about it is if, well, again, I think most people wouldn't agree with this, but if you are starving and you need to go to work, you best feed yourself a little bit so that you can maintain your energy throughout the day versus giving your food away to other people. It's like someone here has this idea that to give to others is the best way to get to the goal. No, it's not. Not always. Because, that's not balanced. What was I saying? It's not balanced. Universe loves balance. As soon as I say that, they're like, now talk about it. They're like, now talk about it. Now talk about it. The universe loves balance. And this is the universe card, aka the world card. In other traditional daros? I want to say decks and tarot. So tarot decks. There you go. Anyway. Excuse me. So the universe loves things to be in balance, in harmony as much as possible, or for things to have their correct place. The universe, this is secondary major for Capricorn, also associated with the fixed signs, so Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. You could be dealing with any of those signs or not at all. And that's what I feel is here, Thank you. And I don't usually talk about that particular image. So what do we see here? A beauty queen. Now, I'm not an expert. I don't even watch those things when they come on TV. But what I know is that to get to be Miss Universe or Miss World or Miss anything in any competition or any yeah, you have to be well-rounded, right? It's not just because this person is beautiful. If so, they would just, bring the women out, take a look at them once, and then vote on who's the prettiest. No, you have interviews, you've got the swimsuit competition, you've got like the little package that tells them like their volunteer practices, all these things, and then like their hidden talents and stuff like that. Those types of competitions, you're supposed to show to the judges, hey, not only am I really good to look at and I'm beautiful, I'm amazing to behold, I also know how to play the flute or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's what this is. You can't just rely. Yes. Not for all of you, clearly. But some of you are relying solely on your physical appearance. Or there's something about the way you look, the way your life looks, that's like been the key focus. And what have I told you? What were we talking about with the Empress? The Empress is beautiful. The Empress embodies all of innate beauty as it's ruled, or excuse me, associated with the planet of Venus, right? But there's emphasis on money here. There's emphasis on beauty. There's emphasis on health. There's emphasis on play. There's emphasis on skill. There's emphasis on business tactics. The Empress, even though on her face or on first appearance, seems to be all about those external things, but it's not just about that. She has to have the brains. She has to have the capabilities to back all that up. Same thing here. You're not, even though it's a beauty contest, the ways in which we actually determine a winner is to see other aspects, other facets of this person, right? So someone here in this energy, Leo, it could be you, could be someone else you're dealing with. I think some of you are, I can't tell. It's too, Okay. So there it is. I feel, Leo, some of you, this is you. Not everybody, but some of you, this is you, but it's not your doing. This Capricorn energy, Capricorn relates to the father, and Empress is one of the energies that can relate to the mother, and whatever, I'm not going to go into the history of it or the reasonings, but you may have been brought up this way to value how you look over anything else that you do. And more options. What were we talking about with the wands? More options, seeing from a wider perspective, widening that perspective. I'm more than just my looks. I'm more than just how much money I make, or I'm more than how much, how much of a, there's something about increasing self-worth and seeing beyond the physical, or seeing beyond a certain set of attributes. I'm more, and it could be the other way around. I'm more than just my brains. I'm more than just what I can bring to the table in terms of book smarts or in terms of business savvy. Like I said, I think I said that over here. Yeah, with Empress, some of you are focusing on your physical appearance and you're making changes to that. Thank you. They're like, pick that back up. That also is here. The universe card talks about endings and beginnings simultaneously. I normally call it chapter endings, right? So when you're reading a book, you end chapter 3, you turn the page and you're in chapter 4. The book isn't over, but a certain subset or a certain portion of the book has ended. The chapter itself is over, but you begin the next chapter as soon as you turn the page. And that's kind of what this is. I was about to put it down there like, no, you don't. That Capricorn energy, that Saturn energy that is here, this could be a big lesson for you. This could be a hefty chapter for you, right? This could be a chapter in your life, Leo, that's ending, where a lot of the plot was really, getting kind of feisty, getting kind of fiery, or getting kind of interesting, right? So I sense for some of you, I don't care how old you are, by the way, some of you might be coming to these realizations that, I've been living with the conditioning that I was brought up in, and I have to change that. And you might, and that's something that I think we might typically expect of someone in their 20s or even in their 30s. You might be 68 years old and coming to that realization. You know, I've lived so much of my life in this particular lane, or with, you know, with this kind of scope, when the scope should be so much wider. I told you, potentiality is here, or what else is out there for me? What have I been missing in some of your cases with the Three of Wands? And you're into that. What do I mean when I say you're into that? I feel like there's an awareness here. For some of you, okay, that's interesting. Some of you, you're realizing more female, no, wrong, not female, feminine, thank you. You're realizing more feminine dynamics of yourself. In that, God, how can I say this? Ooh, I haven't cracked my knuckles in so long. Or I don't think I've ever cracked them on camera. Anyway, like, I think some of you, like, the converse is happening, where I was talking about, you know, some of you are just like living for the material, or living, you know, being told your value is all in how you look. And, you know, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just like, that's the reality that many people live. I feel for some of you, the converse is happening, where you've relied so much on your power, your authority, or your ability to utilize your mind and your skills, and not paying any attention to how you physically show up in the world, how you appear, right? I feel some of you, that is changing. You're putting more emphasis on how you appear. You're putting more emphasis on what your body looks like, how you dress yourself, how you take care of yourself in terms of health and wellness, something like that. Because the female, or excuse me, again, the feminine is very integral to the physical corpus, the actual body that we all inhabit. Your body, that person's body, blah, 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 blah. Like the male, God, I keep saying female and male. The masculine is less interested in that. The masculine is more, yeah, it's just not the same. So it'll go either way, clearly, because this is a general. So you're all at different trajectory, or you're all on different trajectories. You're all coming into this journey with different perspectives or different mindsets. But ultimately, Leo, there is this expansiveness. There is a challenge to kind of do things differently. And I think that is a reason for you to kind of not announce yourself. Because I think, as much as this is a revelation to you, I don't think that you want other people to know. Ah, that's where that came from. Okay. So not only are some of you best to be a little quiet about these changes, or this transformation in some of your cases that you guys are going through, is because someone tells your business. I got that earlier on. Like, I felt like somebody, as soon as you say something, someone goes and announces your business, and suddenly your plans are derailed, or people come and they criticize you or something like that. There's a similar line here where I was saying over about this universe card. Some of you have been highly criticized from your family, from people that are close to you, and they would not accept. It's something about acceptance. They will not accept. They will not accept is how this feels. And so you know that. So it's best that you hold that information for as long as possible. That's what that feels like. And I'm here for it, because what I'm sensing is an overbearing parental thing. Because like I told you, the Empress is closely related to mother archetypes. And because the universe is associated with Capricorn, there is a father archetype here too. So you could be caught between your parents, or you could have, you know, I mean, we all have it to certain extents, like certain, you know, quote unquote, mommy or daddy issues could be at play here. And I feel it's best to kind of reserve when and where to talk about what you're planning. If you talk about it at all, you might not. You might not. Regardless, this Ace of Swords, as much as the Ace of Swords can talk about expressions or communication, I should say, I feel like this is more personal revelation. You know, you're heavily protected by the universe, the Empress, and the Ace of Swords from your Three of Wands position, where I feel you're in the planning stages, or you're in the stage of opening up and seeing brighter, broader horizons for yourself, more options. You know, if before your career was based in this industry, you're like, okay, I could have a career in this other industry, and you're figuring that out. And that's a revelation to yourself. Again, I don't think it would behoove you to tell very many people what you're doing. And I don't think I have to tell you that. I think many of you figured that out a long time ago, that I need to stop telling people my plans. I need to stop involving one particular person in my planning, because they tend to want to derail me, or they dissuade. I feel like some of you have been dissuaded. Like at a previous point, you told someone, hey, I'm thinking of doing this. And they said, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think you should do that. That's not a smart move. You know, or they were critical of what you chose to do, and therefore you never did it again. It's like, freaking hell. All of this is expansive. Three of Wands, Empress, Universe. Expansive. Going beyond what you might normally do or perceive or think you're capable of. It's challenging, yes, because the universe embodies that challenge, you know, growth, exponential growth with that Capricorn-Saturn combination, okay? Possibly through the heart of, or school of hard knocks. But I feel somewhere in here along that journey where you felt, I'm ready to step up to the plate and challenge myself and grow and become a different version of myself. Someone came along and said, that's not a good idea, Leo. You should take a step back from that. And you're like, huh? I should? And at some point that person was very influential to you. And for many of you, it's a parental figure. It doesn't have to be your mother or your father. It could just be an older brother, older sister, something like that. Could have been a mentor to you. Could have been, you know, someone that you idolized or looked up to. And the thing about that person or that energy is that limits you. I said that before, limited. You've been limited, Leo. You don't want to be limited anymore. So that Ace of Swords is that recognition of that. I've been limited. I've allowed myself to be influenced in ways that I shouldn't have allowed myself to be influenced. And instead of announcing to the world these moves that I want to make, because I've done that before and things didn't go my way, let me keep it under wraps for now and work on it personally. Work on it as an individual. Don't ask anybody their advice. Don't ask anybody for feedback. I'm just going to do it myself. Independent energy, independent solo energy. The universe, you experience that on your own. The chapter ends in your life. They occur when they occur. Not all Leos are ending a chapter on the same day, at the same time, at the same hour. Not possible. Somebody, your chapter ended 2 years ago. This is just talking about something that happened 2 years ago. Others of you, this is not going to happen for another 5 years, something like that. You know? So it's personal. And it's best to keep it personal. That's like the big message between all of that, is even though there's, you know, certain context or certain avenues worth exploring, things worth considering, the big takeaway here, I feel, Leo, is whatever your growth is, whatever you're trying to work on, yes, I see it, keep it under wraps. Why did I get excited? Because of what's over here. So, what are we dealing with? Hushness, quietness. And if it's not you, I keep addressing this to Leo. Some of you, you're dealing with somebody who's doing this. A friend, a family member, you know, someone that you're close with, someone that they're like, you're missing, okay? So some of you miss this person, right? That's for those where this is like a vice versa reading. But I'm going to continue to address it as if Leo is going through this for contingency's sake, or continuity, I guess. Is the better word. Anyway, so secrecy is here twice. Maybe not secrecy, but the quietness is here twice. Hermit and the Moon card. Which one, please? All right. So this is keeping a lid on it. The Moon. Major Arcana for Pisces. Some of you could be dealing with a Pisces, but you don't have to be. Keep a lid on it. You know, I don't know about you. Listen, I love Pisces. I oh, they're some of my favorite people. I'm close with Pisces. They keep a secret. They're very good at it. I'm like, what? You what? You know, like I trust the Pisces in my life to hold any secrets. I don't. First of all, I don't have secrets, so that's my problem. But you know, so there's something here about willfully, very craftily, very smartly keeping things close to the chest. There's a little bit of a caution here in that can be misleading. That can possibly later down the line or at this moment cause some type of confusion or misunderstandings. However, I do feel it is best served because if the ultimate goal is to expand, to grow, to step into some sense of authenticity or some sense of independence, right? Where maybe at a previous point that was not supported, or the ways in which you wanted to seek out having more options were shot down and other people criticized you and said, Leo, maybe you shouldn't do that. That's not a great idea. Or whatever reason. Whatever reason people were like not supporting you or not really in your corner, it's best to keep all of this quiet. So, this moon is here to show that. But again, the caution is that could cause some type of misunderstandings down the line. I feel as you make these moves and as you get this change underfoot, people are going to be surprised. And that's the other thing about the moon, surprises, okay? Hidden truths. Pardon me. Hidden truths. Hidden, I don't want to say hidden agendas because it's not about an agenda. It's hidden truths. So I feel potentially, Leo, as you move in whatever way you're moving, down whatever path you're going, people might feel betrayed. People might feel as if you purposely set out to hurt them or purposely set out to isolate them from your life or isolate them in some type of way. And that might be true. The isolation part. Hurting someone, I don't think is your goal, Leo. I don't think you aim to hurt. No, you don't. Thank you. They're like, no. You don't aim to hurt anybody, but that could still be the outcome. And again, for the handful of people, I don't think it's most people. I think there's just there's a subset in this energy that has this really interesting, I'm going to call it interesting because I don't know the details because it's not strong, but for those where it is true, the dynamic you have with a parent or a parental figure or someone of authority, someone who has been an influence on you or a mentor to you, that person victimizes themselves. It's all about them. Your life is about them. What you choose to do affects them. How you choose to be, where you choose to go, whatever. It reflects on them, it hurts them, or it has something to do with them. And that's kind of, again, I'm not a parent, but I've been raised by some. And from my understanding is your child can't, I know the sentimentality of your child is always your child, but eventually your child is a freaking adult, are they not? And as an adult, should they not make their own choices? Should they not live their own lives? And I'm not here to roast anybody. I'm not here to call anybody out specifically because I don't know your stories. But I cannot imagine. I know people live this way, but I don't know how they stand to live this way, living under the thumb of another person. Whether that be a parent or not. We could be talking about a best friend. We could be talking about a spouse. We could be talking about, anybody. Autonomy and independence are crucial here in this earth experience. And I feel, Leo, some subset of you is like, that's a big change in your life. Huge change. It's never been that way before. Others of you, you've lived like that for a while, and it's just like, pushing past certain caps, or like I said before, certain, you've been able to reach success, or you've been able to have a certain amount of what you've wanted, but never gotten all that you wanted. And so it's just about going that extra mile and really, driving home this aspect of your autonomy and living in your own truth, in your own authenticity. Some of you, it's never happened before. And for that group where it's never happened before, there's somebody who's going to be like, how could you do this to me? And I'm feminizing my voice, but it doesn't have to be a woman. How could you do this to me? It could be a guy. How could you seek your own independence and go for things that you desire for your life and put yourself as a priority in your own life? How could you do that? That hurts me. What are you talking about? That's such trash. I don't like that at all. But let's move on. Because I think you get it. The moon is just, it's best to not say that to this person. To tell this person, I'm trying to be my own person. I'm trying to go my own way. I'm trying to walk on my own path and see what else is out there for me in the world. Like maybe it's a protective thing. Like maybe this person, protective. There you go. The Hermit. Major Arcana for Virgo. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo, but you don't have to be. This is a protective thing. This person, they don't want to see you get hurt. They don't want to see you, okay, here we go. Back to that shit. But it makes sense because it's on this line. Because remember what I was saying about the universe card and how I got that vibe based on the imagery, but then also like this is just the way some people approach life, and that's their value system, relying on their physical beauty. Listen, let me put this down because I'm not trying to be critical, and I know that these people exist and they have their reasons, but I find it to be strange. I am getting the sense that there is like this person, male or female, who was told by their parents, rely on your looks. In order to keep a man, you got to look this way. In order to keep a woman, you got to earn this much money. That's your job. In order to be successful in this world, you always got to go outside and you've always got to, have makeup on your face. What? That's crazy to me because I don't wear it. God, whatever. But that's what I'm sensing here. And the reason that someone did this is to protect, is to ensure that someone would never have to struggle, even though that creates struggle, a different type of struggle. There's like this emphasis on looks and money and materialism in order to have security in the physical world, but that conversely creates internal struggle, which is what we were talking about before. Who am I? What am I? And being limited to this scope, being limited to this idea that I am only existing in these spaces. The Three of Wands is like, I exist outside of, any limited space, any limited options. There's so much more to me than this. And someone realizes that. And if this is a parent to you, a parental figure, and again, a mentor, somebody that you look up to, they were doing it from their perspective, Leo. I think they would tell you, I did it for your own good. Well, in your attempt to do that and to have me lead or live a charmed life, there's someone who lost their sense of self in this by having such emphasis on the physical, material world, which has its place, it has its value. I don't say it's worthless or it's purposeless to do that. It does have purpose, it does have value, but to make that the central focus of someone's worth in the world, it's crazy. But anyway, so this Hermit, I feel for you, Leo, as I feel this person is in this energy, whoever I'm talking about. Again, it could be a parent, it could just be a friend, it could be society at large. It could just be, a certain value system that you picked up over the years. I don't know. How this affects you is, well, it's time for you to, or at least you have been, reflecting upon that value system. reflecting upon how that affects you, because Hermit energy is related again to Virgo energy, which is 6th house. Virgo and 6th house, and Virgo is ruled by, well, Mercury. Yeah, Mercury would be critical of these things, thinking about them. But more specifically to Virgo in the 6th house, it's about what best serves me and others, but particularly others. But in this case, I'm feeling this is more, how does this best affect me? And Hermit energy, or excuse me, Virgo energy, I should say, again, related to 6th house, also deals a lot with healthcare or issues of health and wellness. So some of you, yes, counsel. Some of you are counseling or in partnership with a counselor, a therapist, and you're exploring these things. What is my worldview? How has that been affected by my upbringing? How does my fixation on XYZ in the physical world, my job, my career, my looks, my home, my car, whatever, those symbols of status, how does that affect me emotionally? How does that affect me in some of your cases physically? Some of you might be like, I feel ill all the time. I feel, you might have gone to the doctor. The doctor's like, oh, you have ulcers, or you've got some other type of internal issue. And you're like, huh? How? And lo and behold, it's because you are experiencing some type of emotional stress. And emotional stress leads to physical ailments. That's a fact. I learned that recently for myself. So I'm slightly resonating with this message, that your emotional distress leads to physical dis-ease. Not disease, dis-ease, okay? What is going on out there? So this is a deep one. This is like a I don't even know if this is true, but the word that came to my mind is, this is like a chalupa. I don't even know what the hell a chalupa is. I don't go to Taco Bell. But this is like a multi-layered thing where at the core of it, Leo, is changes are afoot, moving and expansion are at hand, but keeping it quiet, not overly expressing it for fear of rejection, fear of pushback, fear of criticism, and or possibly just having insecurity is also possibly the reason for you to keep quiet about this. I like it. I wish I could do more. Like, this is something that is worth clarification, but I don't do clarifiers with the monthly messages. So we're just going to have to move on. Is there anything else before we get to the outcome? Because you've got 3 major arcanas, you do have, or excuse me, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 6. You have a very strong cosmic, spiritual oversight going on here, Leo. Many of you, like I was saying about this card being sort of protected by these 3 cards, you're protected in a spiritual sense as well. So they want me to draw that to your attention as well. So good for you. What is the outcome here for September? Oh, Leo, I've talked so much. I can never make these short. 2 of Coins and the 8 of Cups. So, decision points, 2 of Coins, about emotional dissatisfaction. This is for you. And again, I keep saying you. By the way, again, I don't know if I mentioned it. I did mention it earlier, didn't I? Maybe I didn't. But I would hope that people who watch tarot kind of know this already. This can be a vice versa situation. I'm addressing Leo, but I could be talking to someone else. It depends on the specifics of your situation. But decision points about what is emotionally dissatisfactory. Leo, this is, she's on a dock, right? Or she's by the water at least. So remember what's up here. Water. Looking at a boat. What's down here? A boat and some water and a person carrying a bag. So some of you are making a journey, a change in your location. Because what are boats? Transportation. Why do we get on boats? To send things across the water. Persons or things, right? So some of you, there will be a change of location. Because, with the 2 of Coins right next to it, that can represent some type of physical change. So moving they're like, move. Yes. So some of you are moving. Congratulations. Good for you. Um, if it's not a physical move, it is a big shift in how you show up, how you not analyze, what is the word? Interpret your life. Interesting. Interpret? Yes. They're like, yep. There's a change in how you interpret your life. And how you choose to interpret your life. There it is. How you choose to interpret your life. Thank you. Why can't I? Thank you. Damn. My hand was like not working for a second. So you're choosing how to interpret your life, how to interpret a certain aspect of your life, particularly possibly the emotional aspects of your life. You might be making choices within dynamics or relationships and connections that aren't making you happy. Why didn't I fix that? You might be making, definitive decisions. Because again, with this Eight of Cups by itself talks about getting away from, moving on from. Combining that with a decisive action or the prospect of choosing it, and what we talked about here, chapter endings up here, right? There is this potential for things to shift quite prominently in your life. And some of you, it will take place based on a physical move. Interesting. Because it's also shrouded in the nighttime, it could be a secret. I don't know why there is so much secrecy in your reading, Leo, because I don't view Leo as an archetype to be secret. You as an archetype, as the traditional aspects of what a Leo embodies, secrets is not it. But you have 1, 2, 3, maybe a little bit here with the Three of Wands as well, about secrets or about things being quiet. Leo is loud, verbose, boisterous, very apparent. So this is very different than what I would expect for a Leo reading. Overall energy is the Devil. Secondary major for Capricorn, so that's, primary arcana for Capricorn. So some of you will definitely be dealing with a Capricorn. But again, don't hold on to that if you're not dealing with one. Excuse me. Conditioning. They're giving it to me. Conditioning. Oh, right. And look at this. Look at this. For a minute, I wasn't even looking at this card, but now I'm looking at it. Look at that. Femme fatale, temptress. And look at the man, chained to the bed. Listen, look how seductive she looks. And I mean, she's covering her boob? She's covering her breast? Is that what she's doing? Yes. This is very, okay. For that storyline of the person or the world belief that the looks are everything, the material is everything, and being, what did I tell you? This is how you keep a man. You gotta look this way. Or this is how you keep a woman. You got to earn this money. And to certain degrees, you got to look good too. Men should also look good. Or at least that can be drilled into them. Okay, yes, definitely. Because, look at this guy. Look at those shoulders. Look at that bicep. There's some muscular definition there, right? So men also have, expectations of looking a certain way, okay? But that's what's, I don't like this. I want to get out of this as soon as possible. I don't like it. That is here. That emphasis on the physical and what you can obtain through your physical body, or what you can obtain due to your prowess in terms of earning money and having a steady career, or having a career where you make a lot of money, whatever it is. And the attachment, again, with the chaining to the bed, the attachment, what you can anchor down for yourself. This is how you get a man. This is how you get a woman. This is how you guarantee that you're going to have, a lovely life. If you have 6 figures in the bank, or you make 6 figures a year, that's how you ensure a comfortable life for yourself. A happy, not even comfortable, a happy life. Let me tell you, that's restrictive, because the Devil does talk about restriction. That's a restrictive worldview. Life is more than the physical. Life is more than the material. I'm not saying it doesn't have its value, but it's more than that. Like balance, the universe, balance. And that's the dangerous part of the devil and Capricorn energy. I'm not saying Capricorns are devils. I'm not saying that, but that's their card, and they're represented in that card. But Capricorn is about attainment. Capricorn is about, going out there, making a name for yourself, striving to be the best, getting to the top of the food chain, so to speak, right? And making a name for yourself, and being able to sustain yourself. But the devil and Capricorn can do that to the extreme, can be over the top with it, can become obsessive with it to the detriment of your wellness overall, in other areas at least. Leo, I'm going to leave it there because this is a chalupa. And again, I don't even know if like a chalupa is correct. I've never had one. But this is like a multi-layered reading. This is very deep. But for those where it resonated, please, share below if you feel like leaving a comment. I would love to see how this resonates in your lives. Feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video again if you like what I've done here. Wow, Leo, this is like, I'm gonna have to take an extra break because I gotta get out of this energy. Leo, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll be back in about 2 weeks with the mid-month messages. I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.